Hey guys, welcome to the video devotion for this week. And today I want to share something with you that I picked up in college and that I used in camp ministry a bit, and I have found it helpful just in leading my own heart and soul and leading others around me. And I hope it's helpful for you during the time of the coronavirus. So what I want to share with you is the concept of a comfort zone, growth zone, and panic zone or crisis zone. Now, you've probably heard the term comfort zone before, and I actually have a little chart here that might be helpful for us. So here's the comfort zone right here in the middle, and that's where we feel comfortable, right? That's where we feel most at home and at peace. We know what's going on, we know what to do. And so this is, for example, driving on your way to work. Okay, you know where you're going, you know your car, and you're at peace. It's all good. You know what you're doing. And comfort zone's great. It's a great place for us to be. It's where we learn competency in all kinds of different places. And then outside the comfort zone, here is the growth zone, okay? Or some might call it the stretching zone. And that's where things are uncomfortable for us, but in a good way. Those are things that'll stretch us and grow us as people and as individuals. And this is true spiritually. It's also true physically and emotionally. We can be put in situations where we are uncomfortable, where we're not used to it, but that's a good thing, and it's stretching us. And then beyond that is what's called the panic zone here, or the crisis zone. And that's where things are so uncomfortable, so outside of our comfort zone that we just lose it. We're totally freaking out, and any thing that would be helpful or growing for us is lost because we're just too overwhelmed. And some of you might feel like this pandemic, it's definitely put all of us outside of our comfort zone, right? It's put us all in an uncomfortable situation that we're not used to. And so the question is that going to be our growth zone or a panic zone for us? And I just want to share with you that God is a genius. He's a genius of your heart and soul, and He knows exactly what you can handle and what you can't. He knows where your growth zone is and where your panic zone is. So I've got two verses I want to share with you on that. This first one is from Exodus 13, verse 17 and 18. It says, when Pharaoh let the people go, so this is right after Israel is coming out of Egypt, when Pharaoh let the people go, God did not lead them along the road to the land of the Philistines, even though it was nearby. So it's basically saying, hey, He took them the long way around. For God said, the people will change their minds and return to Egypt if they face war. Okay, translation, He knew where their panic zone was. He goes, if they take this road, they're going to face war, and that will be too much. They will be too overwhelmed there. So He led the people around toward the Red Sea along the road of the wilderness, and the Israelites left the land of Egypt in battle formation. So the point is just that God was aware of what the Israelites needed. He knew where their growth zone was going to be. Clear that they were going to be uncomfortable at the Red Sea, if you know the story of the Exodus. But it wasn't going to be too much for them. He was going to push them, but He wasn't going to shove them down. And then you get the same kind of idea of this growth zone in 1 Corinthians 10:13. It says, no temptation has overtaken you except what is common to man. God is faithful. He will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you are able. But with the temptation, He will also provide a way of escape so they're able to endure it. And so that's just to reiterate that God's not going to put more on your shoulders than you can handle. Now, obviously, you can only handle what's on your shoulders with Him helping you. Okay, He's the one who daily bears our burdens, Psalm 68:19 says. And so He can help you endure this time of the coronavirus, even though things might be difficult in your life or in your situation. You might be in an uncomfortable place, and it seems like you're the one who gets to decide, depending on your reaction. God has already said this can be your growth zone. Just by putting you here, He has said you can handle this, obviously relying on Him. The question is, are you going to rely on Him and let this be a time where you're in your growth zone, or are you going to rely on your own strength or forget about Him, or in some other way try to do it yourself and end up in a panic or a crisis zone? Just want to encourage you to lean on the Lord and let this be a time of growth rather than a time of crisis for you. All right, well, we'll see you guys next week.